Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video, we are looking at Micron. It is time for another update. And finally, we have seen yesterday a deeper retracement. And this trend seems to be continuing today as well. We are already trading in the pre-market session at the levels below what we have achieved yesterday. But I actually do not believe this is the end of the uptrend. I believe this might rather be an opportunity because the structure, especially if we are looking from this larger time frame perspective, would remain primarily incomplete. And I believe we might be looking even at a shorter term continuation to higher prices within this latest movement to the upside. So I will be providing an opportunity for you today, an area of support we can track for direct continuation to higher prices within both timeframes actually. But before we do that, I want to provide the slightly larger time frame picture because it is actually crucial in the context of this chart. We are tracking, in the case of this chart, an impulse within this structure. I would have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and this would be a pretty definitive wave 3 within the area of an impulse, even if this as a wave 1 has only formed a leading diagonal. Nonetheless, within this structure, I could be looking for a more substantial top to form relatively soon within this as a wave 3, but it is not necessary. And based on the momentum increase we see within this structure, we could be easily led to believe that the wave 5 of an internal wave 3 nonetheless could instead be a wave 3 itself. We have certainly reached the necessary levels for such an interpretation. We have actually just done that. The ideal target for the wave 3 being the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. Yeah, we have just done that. We have achieved $1,070 a couple of days ago. But honestly, at this point, it doesn't even matter which structure will end up following through, because I could be looking for continuation to higher prices internally within this pattern regardless of the larger time frame picture. Just for context, this chart could still turn extremely bullish. This pattern doesn't need to be anywhere close to an end, and this larger wave 3 in blue could extend much higher. Now, within this movement to the upside, I have provided to you a couple of videos ago this idea of an impulse within an internal wave 3. I have provided the count within a wave 1 up here, a wave 2 down here, a wave 3 up, and the wave 4 area of support. That has held wonderfully, and we have done a nearly 2x from these lows at around $660. Right? We have just achieved near $1,100, about the area we have been expecting for a potential top within this yellow wave 5, and in reality, it is possible at this point for a top to be in, but it is not necessary. In fact, we do still have room within this channel I have shared with you in the last video. And we would be looking ideally for one additional high within this structure, because what I have been previously tracking was this idea of an internal wave 3 in an impulse. This structure would have allowed another one to set up to have been in formation here. Then this would have to be my wave 3 to the upside. This would be my wave 4 correction, currently in formation. And I can safely expect one additional high to form in the case of such an outcome against the levels of support between $981.5 down to $873.6. It is actually quite important to hold these levels if we are to extend directly higher within this structure, because if these levels fail to generate that one additional high, I would have to assume a more substantial top would be in within this wave 5 in yellow. And I would have to look for the next levels of support that would allow this to be a wave 3 complete and would lead me to look for the next larger wave 4. In such a scenario, we can expect a significantly larger and deeper retracement. We would have to watch out, in fact, for the levels between $877.6 down to $689. Right? So if we cannot get that additional high in the white extension we are tracking, we would need to be prepared for an additional 20% drop before having a more substantial bottom within the large degree structure. Now, at this point, to be honest, I still prefer the white interpretation. In reality, even further extensions could be possible, and as long as we are holding these levels of support, I have to prefer that scenario. And for now, we can move into the smaller time frame where I'm of course looking to build a 3-wave correction within this idea of a wave 4. I could consider this to have been in fact the wave A down. Not absolutely necessary to be clear, but it doesn't really matter at this point as I would clearly track here a wave B up and a wave C that I would expect to take me to even lower prices. So the ideal target for the wave C would be here the 100% extension of the wave A, and that sits right around the 38.2% retracement, which is the ideal target for a wave 4 anyway. And that is at $920, $925, around that area is where the ideal target resides. To be clear, it doesn't mean we need to get there, it doesn't mean we need to stop there, but what I do expect of this structure is to build a 5-wave pattern. So within this move down, I would be tracking this as a wave 1, a wave 2, and this would be my wave 3 that would be clearly still in formation. And based on the strength that we currently have in the pre-market session, I could see this wave 3 get a loan to the 38.2% retracement, and if we are to follow afterwards with a wave 4 and a wave 5, I could expect it to even surpass these levels, which again is not a problem, but I would also make a note of the structural support levels we have in this area between $943 down to possibly even $890 around this area. But at each of these structural support levels, I would watch out for some additional strength in forming the reversal. Probably the 38.2% retracement being the most critical one, as it is also in confluence with a Fibonacci retracement level. And for now, we really don't have much else to add. This is about all we can gather at this point based on the currently available data. As a summary, I still prefer to form one additional high within this overall white structure against $873, where if we get a sustained break below that, I would have to assume that a more substantial top would be in within this wave 5 in yellow and to move to the larger degree. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.